Hey, what's up, folks? It's Jonathan Coast, and in today's free training, I'm going to show you how to use a website called swipe.co, aka Swipeworthy. It's pretty much an inspiration for marketers and copywriters to use for their opt-in page, their email sequences, their next advertorial, or if you create some type of Facebook ad, Instagram ad, or if you're putting an advertisement in the newspaper. This is a great place to go to get inspiration of ads that have worked in the past, not only just worked well, but worked tremendously. And you'll find that these are pretty much the top promotions. Then they have almost every single niche here, and this is what the website looks like right here. We got all the different niches in here, from dating a relationship to food and cooking to gambling to SEO. They got entrepreneurship, self-help, etc. And they have all the different types of uses that you would need if you're looking to create an advertisement for, say, like your email promotion, or if you're looking to create an advertisement for a homepage, something you want to be humorous. We got landing pages here, lead generation. So in this particular video, and you'll find that they go into great detail. They don't just show you the ads, they actually have like different annotations on the different parts of the ad, like whether it be like a direct mail or advertorial. So in this particular video, I'm going to show you an ad that I found to be interesting because I'm reading a book called Tested Advertising Methods, and John Caples, almost about like 80 years ago, created an ad that's like extremely famous in our industry when it comes to marketing and copywriting and business. It was overused, and it comes off as unimaginative because almost everyone has tried to use the same headline over and over again for every market, and they've swiped it like almost hundreds of thousands of times. I'm about to say millions of times, and I might be right in that case, but really, it's called "They Laughed When I Sat Down at the Piano, but when I started to play, dot dot dot." This has been so successful that so many people have come through and just reusing it. Like, as you can see here, my husband laughed when I ordered our carpet through the mail, but when I saved 50%, dot dot dot. So you can check this book out. I'll leave a link in the description of the Google results for it, and you can just choose whatever option you want if you want to try to find it for free or buy it. But this is an extremely valuable book. It's called Tested Advertising Methods, and the same author of this book actually created the original inspiration for this particular swipe that I found on this website. In this case, they're promoting a tomato garden. Now, keep in mind, just because something is extremely overused in the entrepreneurship, copywriting, and marketing industry doesn't mean that people who read Reader's Digest or are in the gardening industry have seen it as many times as you. So though we may have our bias about, man, it just comes off as so unimaginative, those folks haven't even seen it before. You don't want to just copy everything word for word. You want to get the inspiration behind the psychology of why it's working, and then you can use that same exact psychology and use your own words and put that formula into place, if that makes sense. So basically, you're getting the idea behind why they're saying what they're saying. You're using that idea and you're just rewording it and putting in your own words. And that's a much more effective strategy than just blatantly taking someone's headline and then just copying it word for word. It's great to get inspiration and use templates, but you want to customize it and tailor for yourself. So as you can see here, they have different annotations underneath every different part of the ad, and it goes into great detail about it. One thing I want to point out is they put a strong emphasis on building credibility using stats and graphs, and they quote like associations, and they'll cite like existing credible and familiar resources that the gardening industry is already familiar with. And then they also take the time to counter objections in this ad. So such as, can I do this? Does this require a lot of experience? Am I going to need to have like a huge space for this? They talk about all of that stuff in the ad. So by the time the reader has gone through in there, and at the end, all of their objections that naturally come up if someone's reading this have already been handled, and they're more likely to buy. So I'll just go ahead and start covering it real quick. So at the top it says, "We grew 127 tomatoes on our very first try. Now you can too, or your money back." Now this is very specific, 127 tomatoes. And you'll notice here it says, "This specific guarantee combined with the photo testimonials do an excellent job of helping you visualize what your own garden will be like." Now it's really important for the reader to be able to visualize, and being specific when it comes to numbers, exact situation on how you achieve those results. You place that in there and then use that as a guarantee or your money back, etc. It's an excellent job of helping them visualize. And as you can see, these pictures just by themselves are extremely compelling for someone who's already interested in something like this. So this very famous headline right here, "My neighbors laughed when I dot dot dot." My roommates laughed when I said that I was going to boom, but now they all want a tomato garden like mine, and now they all want to go to the same school as me. My neighbors laughed when I bought that video game. They all said it sucks, but now they all want to play it after watching me play it every single weekend. Now they all want it for themselves. So that's the case in this. Like, it's very overused, and it's been used hundreds of thousands of times in our industry, but it still works. It is remarkable. So they say, from here, they say, swipe from the famous. They laugh when I sat down at the piano, which is from this ad right here. They laugh when I sat down at the piano. And not too long after that, when we have my husband laugh when I ordered our carpet through the mail, but when I saved 50%. So in this case, they say, my neighbors laugh when I ordered. Now they all want a tomato garden like mine. And it works well because it's driven by feelings, and the feeling of revenge, of I'll prove to my neighbors, and the desire to be envied by others. So as you can see, it's got the bullet points, and this particular ad has a total of 13 annotations. And if you scroll over this eye right here, if you click it, all the annotations can go away if you just want to read it by yourself. Or if you just want to learn the psychology behind it, you just click the eye like that and it'll come up. So here's the new way to garden without work, the biggest theme of the insert. So the entire insert is basically, this whole ad is, the theme is ease of use. A beginner can do this. You can create a huge garden with very little space. You don't even need that much space. We'll say, hey, you can even put this in your walk-in closet. You don't even need a grow tent. You just throw stuff like that to make it feel like, oh wow, I can do this. By the time they get to the end of the ad, they feel like they've been talked to personally, like they are the ones who are being spoken to. And most people who are reading this are trying to figure out how to learn how to garden, and they don't really have that much experience. And if they do have that experience, they're always trying to optimize their performance. The biggest theme here is without work. And as you can see here, imagine a big garden in a small space. Grow vegetables wherever you like, indoors or out. Start earlier, grows longer. So it's got the bullet points, it's got different color headlines, but they're all like congruent and relevant to what it is they're talking about. And then they have like different pictures with the family. So right here it says, finally, a garden with no bending or guessing. The grow box is a full-size patio planter that does the gardening work for you. It waters while you're away and automatically adds the correct amount of fertilizer every day. So that automatically tells the reader, I don't have to worry about, trying to measure and put the right fertilizer in every single day like the professionals do. That this thing automatically does it for you in the correct amount every single day. The grow box is so complete, it even shows you the best places to put each plant for maximum growth. He says it here like this whole do it for you. It does all the work for you. It emphasizes no work, basically. You'll be really proud of this tomato garden. Pick dozens of vine-ripe tomatoes weeks before your neighbor picks 3. Remember that old-time fresh tomato flavor? Think of your delight as a cluster of succulent, homegrown tomatoes to a friend and say, try these, they're from my garden. So this is the whole, being envied by others and sharing experiences with neighbors. And this is just a natural human engagement. And so it says down here in the excerpt, like the annotation, appealing to core desires such as receiving praise from others, feeling accomplished, and having greater popularity, which is very similar to the headline, my neighbors laughed when I said I was going to order a tomato garden, et cetera, et cetera. So as I mentioned earlier, they quote and they cite like different relevant sources, and they also talk about like familiar and already credible organizations associating their aura with them. So as you can see, winner 2014 and 2017 MGA Green Thumb Award, which people who read the magazine are familiar with. Selected Outstanding New Garden Product for 2007 by an independent panel of garden writers for its unique technological innovation and inability to solve gardening problems. In 2004 for its new edgy designer colors and innovative self-assembling support kit. So they say, this is a credibility booster. It's worth noting that the significance of the Green Thumb Award doesn't mean much as long as it sounds impressive. So it sounds impressive. It's the 2000, they're saying it's the 2014 and 2007 MGA Green Thumb Award. That sounds impression winner. As far as the significance of it, doesn't really mean much. And that's what they're saying in the annotation. But I would argue, though, people who are more familiar with the industry, again, this is targeted towards beginners, but someone who's like more experienced and just trying to optimize their performance, the significance of that award will probably mean more to them. But that's just a quick little caveat there. And you can grow vegetables wherever you like, which is, again, is congruent with the theme of, do it yourself. It does all the work for you. It's catered towards beginners. You don't need like a huge garden or a huge space. So this is a very, very well put together ad. New Breakthrough makes you a gardening pro, even if you've never grown anything before. Again, this targets the beginner. This addresses first-time gardeners who may be on the fence about buying. And again, like the stats and the graphs from credible resources, they help build up a more convincing argument. So they talk about how decades of research by farmers, universities, and the USDA have increased U.S. vegetable production by an incredible 147%. So this is really just build up the credibility. So by the time someone has landed on this page, they're pretty much sold on it. So this is very impressive. Now, as you can see here, they have a graph. They got a line graph showing like the increase in productivity as far as like the farm output. So what they're saying here is they have the same technology built in that's using for the grow box as this commercial tomato field. And anytime you use the word, anytime describing a product as having a certain technology, it always increases the perceived value, quality, and sense of uniqueness. Diagrams, which he's talking about right here, that breaks down the guts of the product and that helps bring a sort of a logical sense to how the product works and why it creates such incredible results. So not only are you going after their emotional reasons to buy, but you're also targeting their logical reasons to buy, which is very important. You need to cover both. Not only do they want it, but does it make sense? Like, are they emotionally want to buy it, and does it logically make sense for them to buy it? And so in this page here, they get into more the guarantees or the offer, the pricing of the situation. And what I like here is they mention how you don't even need a receipt. So this is good. You have a 1-year guarantee. Even if you lose the receipt, you still get the compelling guarantee here. So it's a 1-year, 100% money back guarantee. And right here, he talks about how they mention how they of course the most expensive option is the best option. And notice how they put bolds and they almost capitalize they make these letters bigger as far as like how much they'll save, but they don't do that as far as like the actual price. So you notice like the actual price, get 10, pay only 299.50 total, but they bold save 70%. And that's what he talks about here, which is the best option is the most expensive one. And not only they make the savings big and bold while keeping the total price small and unbolded. So on this final page here, they have like this 3-step process. Number 1, fill the grow box with potting mix. Number 2, lay the nutrient patch on top. Plant by the numbers. And number 3, add water every few days and watch them grow. And that's it, you're done. And he mentions here in the annotation, it gives them a good visualization as far as the reader is concerned on why, again, emphasizing maintain that congruency of how this is targeted towards someone who has not ever done this before, and this ease of use as far as like being a beginner gardener. As we've seen in the earlier parts of the promo, a huge selling point for grow boxes is ease of use, and laying out this simple 3-step process is a great way of demonstrating that ease. And so that's basically what they're doing here. And as you can see here, they got it in a first class mail. The garden patch grow box, pretty professional, and they got some consistency even on the envelope of tomatoes. And that's pretty much it. So Mike Schroer, he's the guy who actually created this website. He's the founder of this .co. And after about 6 years of being in the industry, he just decided to go ahead and create a website that has like all these different inserts, advertorials. And again, this is an extremely valuable website. It has all the different niches in here. It has dozens of different examples for each niche. It has the different types when it comes to direct mail, advertorials, editorials. They got a checkout page, opt-in pages. You have email opt-ins, error pages. So I would definitely recommend coming here. You even got controlled ads and you have tested ads. So you can just click on any one of those options there just to find what it is that you're looking for and what it is that you're trying to promote, and take some inspiration from this website on your next offer, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I highly recommend that you check out swipe.co for all the different inspiration for your next marketing efforts and copywriting. And then also check this book out, Tested Advertising Methods. It's by an author named John Caples. It's a very legendary book. It'll really bolster your copywriting performance, and you'll have a greater understanding on how to be not only a better copywriter, but be a better advertiser and how to structure an advertising. And then it talks about why it's important to test your ad and to look at everything objectively. Don't make any assumptions, and be prepared to admit a loss, and be prepared to admit when you were wrong as far as like if something no longer works, even though you thought it would, or if something new works better than what you've been using. So yeah, that'll pretty much be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. We got a chance to do some reverse engineering on that tomato garden ad. And if you like content like this, then I highly recommend that you check out my website in the description, jonathancoast.net. I talk about everything when it comes to generating traffic and increasing sales. And with that said, I will see you in the next video. See you then.